I don't understand. Like, I make TikTok content. Why is it so hard to make YouTube content? Ugh. I'm gonna get over myself. I'm getting over myself. And here is the video. Hi, my name is Leisha. It's nice to meet you. And this is my channel. Um, I I'm just gonna be sharing my thoughts and my opinions and commentary, but I want to get real. I want to come at things with a different approach. Everything that I see is so, I wouldn't say one-sided, but I would say it doesn't get to the root. So that's what we gonna do here. We get into the root of everything, all things. Yeah, because I like learning and growing as a person. So understanding things better and situations better helps me to grow. So that's what we're going to do. And if you like doing that, you're in the right place. Just like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, all the buttons, all the stuff. If you would like to, I appreciate it. But, so I wanted to talk about one of my videos on TikTok that went viral recently, and it not really viral. It just got like thousands of views, a few thousand views. But basically, I'm gonna put it and I'm gonna clip it and I'm gonna. I don't think men quite understand what they're doing to women. Like, I think that they kind of understand, but I don't think that they fully like conceptualize what they're doing to women. It's like it's something to say about like getting your heart broken one time by one girl and then immediately turning off that emotion and running through so many other girls afterwards. And so many of them, they don't feel like they're being messed up towards us because they didn't hit us, they didn't call us out of our names, they only called us sweet things, they only said nice words to us, they were only gentle towards us. But it is a fucking war crime, bro, to connect with someone and intertwine yourself with someone that you have no intention of really intertwining with the way that you're doing. It's to do that, bro, and it's over and over again. And I saw someone post about the trauma. Like, nobody talks about the trauma that's associated with constantly going through these situations, like situationships with guys where like they don't want to commit and they don't want to take it to the next level, and the fact that it affects your self-worth. Imagine like knowing that you are worth what you are worth, and understanding who you are and your heart and what you do and how far you love, like how much you love. And for that too, oh my God, for that to also be rejected in the same token, it's just like, and this whole like being happy with being single and we don't need a man and all this other stuff in response to what's going on. I've been this way for years and I'm tired. I'm really tired, and I don't think that it's weak to crave human connection and to want to tear my walls down and to want to love. Like, that's like, human connection is literally, it's innate in us. It is natural to us, and I don't feel like I should fault myself for that anymore, and I don't feel like I should continuously hide that. It's like, I just don't know honestly what the fuck to do. I am tired.
And I just want to, I want reciprocity. That's it. And the thing is like, you don't even have to go chasing for it to wear you down, bro. I dated somebody last year for a short period of time, and like, it took months to almost a year. We didn't even commit. Months to almost a year to even get past that. You know what I'm saying? And there was no commitment. That's...
Now, a lot of the comments on that video were saying we need to decenter men, we need to forget about men. You know, a lot of women who've also been through similar situations, or, you know, their own trauma with men, and, you know, just walking around with hurt and pain and trauma, and it's not okay to have to deal with that, right? And now here's my thing. When it comes to the whole decentering men topic, I feel like that's like the newest buzzword that we've thrown out there to automatically tell people without even really knowing what's going on in their situation at all, like whatsoever. And I want to point out that you don't have to center men in order to experience trauma from them. You know, there are little girls who had no intentions of pursuing a man or going after a man who received trauma from a man, and they're out walking these streets. There's women out here who have entire, like me for example. uh, I'm an introverted person, and my life on my own is quite full. I like to do things. I'm a little spontaneous. Like sometimes I plan, and sometimes it's just like, I want to go to the beach today. Let's go have a beach day, you know? Or I want to go hiking today. Let's go hiking. Or I want to go thrifting today. Or I want to go walk around. Or, you know, let's just go ride because I was, you know, that's the type of person that I am. I can also have fun indoors. So in my little space here, I'd be like, I have my speaker here. I'd be dancing. I'd be singing at the top of my lungs. I apologize to my neighbors. You know, I'm told that I have a decent voice, so, and I do it during like regular normal hours. You know, like noon, afternoonish and stuff. But yeah, it's like I be going off on my own, and usually, I'm not even gonna say usually, like 99.9% of the time, I really don't have the time of day. It's just not something that's at the forefront of my mind. Like, ooh, you know, he's cute. He's a potential. He's cute. Like that was never me. I'm also like a sapiosexual, demisexual, which plays a big part of it. Like, even if I am attracted to someone, like I find someone physically attractive, I don't necessarily want to pursue something with them unless I know you're mine. You know, unless I know what's going on up here, unless I know a little bit of what's going on in here. And I can really only find that out through what someone tells me or what they show me, but mostly through what they tell you, because you can't, you know, necessarily show somebody what happened in, you know, your past. You could tell somebody that, and people also be lying. But yeah, like you can only go based off of that, and it just takes time, right? So for me to be mostly uninterested, and then, you know, you meet somebody, and over time it's like, okay, he seems pretty cool, and then, you know, they actually try to make a move on you or whatever, getting to know each other and things like that, and then it goes nowhere. Like they disappear, or, you know, they future fake and like just I actually wasn't ready for any of the things that I said that I was ready for and trying to do with you. I'm so sorry. Like that shit causes trauma, and it's okay. And you don't have to be all wrapped up in men and I want a man, I need a man, I need a man in order to experience that. And I find really interesting about like social media and posting is that, and the reason why I don't really take things to heart that people might comment is that they don't know me, first of all. And second of all, people are very quick to judge an entire character based off of like one clip of a person. We are all guilty of it. Even I'm guilty of it. You know, you see family content and you believe that that's really how that family is, and well, and it's not. That was a performance. It's actually very toxic in there, or there's actually more to the story, or like, you know, you think it's one way and it's really another. So when it comes to posting and, you know, people coming up with these assumptions and stuff, I don't necessarily take them to heart. And I do feel as though there's something to be said about that, because I notice that I'm not the only one who, you know, posts about, you know, issues in relationships and trauma from men and things. But I do notice that a lot of times that's a prevalent thing. Like, it's just a reoccurring comment that gets told to women. We're constantly told by each other, you just need to forget them. You just need to move how they move. You just need to, you know, forget about them. You need to decenter men. You need to whatever, all this other stuff. And it's like, that is true, yes. And also allow people to express how they do feel about that. Like, you don't actually work through things unless you actually work through things. You know what I'm saying? And you can't take a 1, 2, 3 minute clip of somebody working through it and automatically assume that's what they're doing 24/7. A lot of times, you know, me talking to the kid, that is me processing it out. And afterwards, I'm like, look, I mean, I feel better. I don't really have anything else left to say, you know? It just clues me into the fact that we're in this society that is pushing us very far away from being human, further and further and further away. You know, it starts when we're young and we're told to poise ourselves a certain way, to hold our emotions in a certain way, to express them, you know, at specific times and specific fashions. I remember my grandma, her motto, she would tell me, you know, drop one tear, you know, only allow that one tear to be dropped about that situation, wipe that tear, and then you get up and you move on. Don't let no situation or any person get another tear out of you. And then on the other token, being told, you know, not to cry. For me, my dad was like, once I wasn't a baby, he's like, you're not a baby anymore. You don't need to be crying about things. And yes, you learn the discernment of not every situation warrants tears. However, this grow into this sort of separation from our emotions. When we feel certain ways and we want to express ourselves, you can't, because it's against the order. In the classroom, like for me, the biggest moments would be in the classroom when you're expressing, like in history class. That was the one. Social studies, that was the one for me. Because when we're, you know, painting certain rhetorics a certain way, I'm going to have to, hey, excuse me, you know, and allowing the different points of view or whatever. We're kind of just like told on so many different fronts, hold it down, control it. When you're in the workplace and different things happen, your boss is working you like a slave. At least you got a job. Suck it up. You don't express yourself about it. Don't feel anything about it. Just do it. Just get through life. The the climate in America with literally working to exist. You know what I'm saying? Which in all actuality does not make sense. And we're told that's just the way it is. You just gotta get out. Like, you're not supposed, like, why are you feeling things about it? Why are you feeling emotions about it, dog? And now it's getting all the way down to intimate relationships that involve your heart, your actual heart and soul, that literally directly have to do with emotions. And we are, as a trauma response, truthfully saying, keep it P, decenter him, forget him. We're just gonna be single for the rest of our lives, which I'm not against that. I'm really not. I'm so serious. I'm not against that. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel as though the answer to any problem is to just leave it alone and walk away from it. When it comes to like even being approached out and about in public, honestly, my general response is to act like you don't exist. And for the most part, that works. And then there are times that it doesn't. Like, there's a few cases of like when I was actually venting about that, and I shared an experience of being harassed for saying no thank you. Literally the kind of like gentle no thank you, I'm good. Cussed out all types of fat, ugly bitches, stupid bitches, all you black hoes is the same, that are like straight in on my soul, And it's like, so I really don't think walking away and ignoring the situation is enough. I'm out here seeing men post talking about, y'all not trying to give it up anymore. I'm getting a little bit tired. What if we decide enough is enough? What if we decide, we just gonna take it? What you gonna do? We're stronger than you. We're more powerful than you. What you really gonna do? That scared me to my core. I feel as though the answer, or at least guiding in the right direction of the answer, is just to get to the root of the issues in relationship dynamics. And the issue is the patriarchy, we're understanding more and more aspects of it and how it affects society. However, the response to that and I feel like the way we integrated that knowledge into what we already knew, it wasn't a very evolved way to do it. Don't get me wrong, it has boosted our confidence in different ways, and we've blossomed in different ways we didn't even know we could do, and also in other ways things are becoming a detriment. And it's really not just about relationships. When I think about the problem with men, I don't just think about how it affects relationships. I think about how it affects like family and kids. I think about how it affects workplaces, how I interact and move about my day, going to the grocery store, the gas station, going for a freaking walk at night, having friendships, being connected to your male family members. You know what I'm saying? Like, decentering 50% of the population that's still right there is not the answer. You need to address them of the mugs with our whole chest and get to the root of it and be firm. In my opinion. Because I'm thinking back to, women's suffrage, and there's this lady, Mary Kay something, I can't remember, like, she's very controversial. She ended up having an affair with uh, one of her former students who was like 8 when she first met him. Ugh. But it said that, she was against equal rights for women. And she said that she didn't want to be reduced, that we should not be reduced to be equal, to have equality of men, like when it comes to economics and things like that. And I'm sitting there looking like, girl, you crazy. And I'm thinking about it. That movement began because we were not being appreciated for what we innately do, who we really are. We fell into those roles because it was innate, as the man fell into that role because it was innate. We put clothes on it, put houses around it and all that other stuff, but it's still the same thing, us fulfilling that nesting urge that we get when we're carrying a child, to make sure everything in the house is good, the analytical mind that we have to keep everything together in the homes. These things are purposeful. The thing is it wasn't valued. It wasn't valued the way it should have been. It should have been right up there, right on up there with finances, really, like money, and then that, and let me not do that, but you know what I'm saying? So I feel as though women were like, okay, so well, if you don't value what we're doing in the house, we're just gonna do what you value, which is, go to work and stuff. And then the government's like, hold up, I could tax the both of y'all. All right, cool, yeah. Honestly, I was like, I was hesitant, and then I thought about it. Yeah, and then you think about it, right? So now they got 2 incomes coming in the household. We don't really have to keep raising wages like that, because you just 2 income. You can put your money together now. and then we slid into that. Honestly, ended up causing more issues individually as well as collectively. Because even if you're on your own, you know what I'm saying? Providing for yourself. We out here, not getting wages and raises that we deserve. And that is part of it, because it is still expected for that nuclear family unit, mother, father, and, 2.5 kids. And now it's the expectation of both y'all working. Like, well, then we don't really need to raise wages like that or make sure that you're paid for like that, because it's 2 of you guys. So if you put that together, you can make it work. Make something shake, right? No, I'm not saying that we shouldn't work. I think that the Mary Kay lady might have been going a little bit too far. No, she was. I believe that we deserve access to those things, and I feel as though there needed to be an uprootal of the way that we view womanhood and motherhood. Because even to this day, we are still not only receiving judgment from the outside world, but judging one another on so many different fronts, in so many different ways, on so many different levels, and not even realizing that. Fuck decentering men. Decenter that whole patriarchal mindset that you have within yourself. And this is what I be spending time doing, like, and another reason why they're furthest from my mind, on top of the things that I'm interested in and the goals that I have for myself. I feel as though I need to sit with myself and really dive into these things and process them fully and understand them. If I want to get anything out of this little existence, this what 70 to 100 years that we got on this rock. Just, I don't know, like what do you think about these things? I honestly wonder, and I haven't shared that opinion, because it's like when you share an opinion, the way we communicate as people is so chaotic, to the point where nobody really sits with something and thinks about what they said, even if they disagree with it, or like they don't necessarily understand that point of view. We don't really sit with it. Now, I do believe that there's a very, very defined line in the sand where you don't really need to sit with it, i.e. when you're listening to, Mr. Dahmer go into why he likes to do what he likes to do. It's like, yeah, okay, but can this ninja go under the jail yet? Like, where are the cinder blocks in Lake Lanier? Can we just woo? Anyways, for a lot of conversations, people don't really sit with it and actually think about what was said. So, like, I really hope that you do. I hope that we can, like, really sit with these things and get to the root of it, because I feel as though that is a big part of why we are where we are as a people. Now, when it comes to human connection and our nature, this is literally innate. It's not something we can change. You don't just get rid of it. The hustle culture and the, I could do bad all by myself, and the, just me and mine, and as long as we good, that's it. It's not conducive to human enrichment or human evolution, and I really want that to be understood. We need to, like, truly sit with the fact that there's a whole half of the population, not all of them, I'm not going to group all men together, but a very large portion of them are doing serious trauma to people. Part of it is the way they're raised, and part of it's the way that society is built in general, the way we're so fake to each other. We're so plastic to each other, bro. Hey, how you doing? I'm fine. You? I'm fine, thanks. Oh, the weather's nice, and it's great. Everything needs to be pleasant. Everything needs to be good. Everything needs to be in its place, as it should be. However, doing that over and over again, we have lost sight of how things actually are. Toxic friendships that we're just in them for the I don't know, for the memes to be in it. Toxic family dynamics, and you in it for the presentation. People in jobs that they hate for the presentation. And it's a real issue, is all I'm saying. And I feel as though this the trauma that is now sort of being honestly collected by most of the population at this point as a result of men is freaking serious. So what do we do about that, and how do we fully understand that? Because truthfully, this is something I'd like tried to understand about them, and here's from what I deduced in my little mental mind right here. It's a destiny swap, and it's an ego thing. I feel as though many hundreds and grands of years ago, men noticed what we do, what we bring, and it was valued. But I feel as though there was a man who did not like that so much. No. The very first Napoleon complex, bro. The very first one. And he went around marching, yelling to dudes because what do? They use their voice as a way of dominance over true intelligence or true, when somebody's making sense or whatever. They use their voice, the loudness of it, the power, the domination, the brute force, in order to yell to these other dudes, and the other dudes are looking like, well, he's feeling real strongly about it. Listen, because a lot of them are followers. I looked up to this. They started following it more and more and more and more. And the reason why I believe that that's true is because we see this constantly today. All somebody needs is a decent enough get-together, we'll get up in a camera and to speak with enough confidence, and people, they're right there sat. If Andrew Samuels, is that his name? Yeah, Andrew Samuels. If he had got up here and he wasn't so confident, if he was like, I don't really know about that for sure. He wouldn't have gotten where he got. I'm gonna say that. It's because he got up here poised, confident about it, and this is exactly what it is, and that's exactly what happened. Whether it was true or not, and it snowballed and it snowballed and it snowballed and it snowballed and it snowballed. The very first SWs were not there by choice. It was a king who decided, I want to do what I want to do whenever I want to do it. Had him locked up in the palace with him. And it's really a coveting of that benefit. Seriously, I need you to step back and really think about the whole woman-centered men term. Have you met a man? The amount of IG comments under all of these girls' videos and pictures, and the OnlyFans who have millions to the thousands to millions of subscribers, and the freaking Cooking with Kaya, and all these other things. The fact that they still SWs are still out here today able to make a profit. The fact that strip clubs exist. Our power was dancing in our faces, and we never saw that. It was tap dancing right around us. And every single action, in my opinion, that's negative that comes from them is a result of coveting that fact. They hate the fact that they melt at the sight of us. They hate the fact that we bring so much to the table. Maybe I bet the whole asking question is really just gaslighting to make you second guess. Wait, am I really bringing it? Hell yeah, you are. The fact that you go into a man's house with no woman involved and it looks like a freaking jail cell. Let her be in there for I don't know how long. Actually, there was a trend about this. Life before you and after you, where guys were posting their bland ass apartments and homes, and then when they got a girl and moved in, she made it into a home that he actually enjoyed looking at when he came home. He enjoyed living in his house. You go open up the fridge and it's like 2-week-old takeout and a few other things or whatever. It's not super homey. Like clothes thrown all over which way everywhere. Dirt and little crevices and because they not even thinking to clean there. The jealousy is so actual when they come over to your spot and your house, your home is clean because you take care of your space. You care for your space. You care about the food that you put in your body. You care about how you take care of your body and your hygiene. That too, oh my goodness. They be sitting there like mad at you because like, damn, I'm too scared to wipe up my grass because I don't know what anybody's going to say about that. What is that going to imply about me? What's that going to mean about me if I do that? That you like to be clean, big bro? What? Come up in your house, you didn't, you have your stuff organized and planned out and his shit scattered all, and he just can't, it makes him mad. Like, I can't, I can't let her see that I'm admiring all those things about her because it's that ego just be doing jumping jacks all through his mind. Can grow and carry a whole human being and then still keep that stuff up. It's almost like imagine waking up to a superhero every day and be a normie. You see it, you see it play out. Lois Lane with Batman. I don't know if she ever had those feelings of inferiority, but yeah, it's like feelings of inferiority. And now, see, the problem is that when anytime there's a like jealousy involved, because this can happen in any situation, it's like, I wish I was more like that, is that it stops right there. And every result after that is a response of that. It needs to be where they continue on and say, how do I get there for myself? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I improve my life in the ways that I need to? Because it's going to look similar, of course, yeah, on a basic level of maintaining things, whatever, and it's also going to look specific for you. And that's the whole issue, is that the whole mental process it stops right there. And even if it does continue, it still centers around women. You think about it, I'm gonna go get in the gym so that you can look more jacked and attractive for women. Not It's not a personal thing about you and yourself and growth and all that. It's so that, you can pull the girls that you wanted to pull before. You get the house and the car and all that stuff so that you can get the girl that you want. Get that certain car because girls look good and they like that. Wearing certain clothes because this is what the girls like. We've been talking about male-centered women, and the entire issue this whole time has been women-centered men. You can say no to a guy multiple times and he's still there, bro. I'm pretty sure that there's girls out there who have trauma specifically because of that. Just because of that. I had like a miniature bit where this was like years ago, back when I was like swiping on the apps. So back before 2020. And oh my God, I'm trying to think. We were only texting, which is what I just don't understand. We were only texting, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm not interested. I'm good. This dude blows me up, so I block his number. He blows me up from a different number. This is a text now number. I block it. Dude, like, I guess dropped the number, changed it, text me from another number. He did this for like a week straight. We were only talking for a few days at this point. You have invested more time into harassing me than time that we spent getting to know each other. What is that about? What's happening? Hello? Hello? Or like, the video that I shared on my TikTok where, I held the door open for the guy. He came into the store and he was following me around. Like, he wasn't following, but he was like saying, ma'am. I went straight to the back of the store. I'm like, kind of like, I'm really trying to ignore and just kind of whatever. And he's, calling, ma'am. I'm going to keep calling you to acknowledge me. Keep calling to answer me. Miss, ma'am. And truthfully, I just needed some Rillos, which is at the front of the store. So I'm wandering, looking at nothing for nothing. Like, these snacks sure look nice. This baby wipes over there is real cool. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I just need to get my wraps and go. And go up to the line. He's like, I just wanted to say thank you for holding the door open for me. I was like, you're welcome. He's like, I was just wondering if I could, talk to you for a little bit. No, thank you. Man, what you mean? No, thank you. I'm over here. I really went out my way to come over here and compliment you for holding the door open, and this is how you do me, old fat bitch, you stupid bitch, you go up there, old fucking fat leggy bitch, like. It happens. It is so fast. All as a result of his ego being bruised, and he's jealous of the fact that I was able to get that much emotion out of him. The fact that he felt like he looked at me that highly and I didn't want anything to do with him, and that hurt his feelings, and he reacted to that. We can flip this into even the workplace. It's annoying, especially in the workplace. Being in the corporate environment surrounded by men. When you come up with an idea for optimization that could actually help the company because we keep losing money and clients because of X, Y, and Z, and then they don't implement these things, and you're sitting back like, like what's going on, and they're specifically not heeding what you're saying because you're a woman. buddy, that can mess with you, dog. And it's fully because that's intimidating. It's like, gosh, they're beautiful and they're sexy and she's smart. She has all the ideas and she. Whoa! That's what I feel like. And then when the feminist movement started, and we started having our own bank accounts and becoming, very successful very quickly, catching up to, y'all, to men. Yikes on bikes with trikes. So I didn't think you could do all that, and then you did it. And it was done. And you're still raising the kids we left you with. Like, what's it gonna take? And that right there, that specifically is what we need to address. Right there. We need to get to that right there and cut that shit. We live in a society that wants to compete and compare on every different way. How much money you got, how much this you got, how, whatever. How pretty you are, how many likes you have, how many followers you have. It's always a comparison, literally down to the littlest tiny detail. Ugh. Someone can feel like they're better because they shop at TJ Maxx instead of Ross. People feeling better than someone else because they made their kid mac and cheese from scratch instead of out of the box. People feeling, better because they order out every night because they're able to do that than people who cook in the house. It is weird. You can have somebody driving a Toyota trying to talk crap about somebody who's driving a Hyundai. The comparisons literally just, it's gotten out of hand. And I feel as though we need to sit everybody down and just dismantle that and be like, listen, those feelings, them hurt feelings that you have about who we are and how we show up, you don't need to have them. It's not a competition. It's not a pissing contest. It's not any of those things. We are living life, and we are all literally just trying to live and thrive, survive, and grow. It's not always about putting on a front. It's not always about being more than and one up. And that's what it is about, connection between any two people. Truthfully, it doesn't matter what connection this is. When it comes to friendships don't really last when one person's above the other. Romantic relationships don't necessarily last when one person's above the other. Family dynamics do not last when one person's above the other. That's why there's so many adult kids who don't speak to their parents today, because at this point I am an adult. So that the respect needs to be there. You can't continuously speak to someone like a child. And truthfully, we shouldn't be speaking to children like they're kids, like they're stupid or something, because they're not stupid. Naive, for sure. Stupid, far from it. And instead, I feel like we need to usher ourselves into a season of collaboration. Because I was thinking about integration and collaboration at the same time. But that sounds like a dope word, collaboration. Collaboration as well as integration of talents and abilities onto this similar plane. And truthfully, this can go for so many different things. Again, as I keep saying, outside of relationships, which is why I I will die on the hill that the trauma that we go through and wanting to address this stuff, it like the answer is not decentering men because of how embedded the issues that lead to where we are in society, you know? And when you pull back the curtain, you see that there's a lot more going on here. There's a lot more that we need to see about this situation if we actually want to nip it in the bud. Same thing when it comes to racism. You don't solve racism, like, you don't solve actual ideologies that people have in their head by, like, changing a law and say, you guys have to hire black people now, you can't discriminate against them. That it doesn't work that way, you know? Which is why we are where we are today. And I'm gonna do a video about that. Ooh, it's Black History Month. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video about that for sure. But and then I got a little bit lost in the sauce, my bad. Like a little off track. But my whole point is that there's more to the story when you think about it. And when it comes to the issues surrounding men, and I feel the detrimental state that we are in right now, like this, it's not just about relationships and, you know, you need to be fine being single. We need to get to the root of the issues that these men have so that they can stop going out and traumatizing kids, family members, random strangers out in the world, one another, hello? Because most men, their biggest fear is also another man. Workplace dynamics and settings, so many different situations where businesses can't flourish because of the men, the butting heads and stuff. Instead of collaborating, it's always a competition of ideas and not necessarily what's going to be conducive to evolving this situation to be something better. That's the problem, and we need to get to that. We need to get to that. Yeah. Truthfully, I think that's about it. I might do a part 2 to this because to go off on a separate tangent and connect it to something that's entirely unrelated yet also related to decentering men and the issues with patriarchy and how we're really going to get better as a people because we can do it. I know we can. I know it in my skull. That's why I ain't never gonna stop being a lover. You wanna know why? Because that's who I am. And also because the world needs it. Because the world deserves it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if y'all don't believe in utopia. You don't have to. Okay? I feel as though the only reason, like calling it utopia and making these things so distant from ourselves is part of the problem. If you believe we can get to a better place, then we can get to a better place. But we need to actually have these conversations if we gonna get to that better place for real. And that's all. If you got this far, I truly appreciate you. I ain't gonna hold you. You know? I did not have a script for this or any of that. I'm not really gonna to chop it up and cut it and make it super short. I honestly, I feel like that content style is starting to make it more difficult for people to communicate in real life because we can't account for those pauses that people naturally have, the breaks that will naturally occur in conversation. They're necessary. You know, the times that, you know, you get to stop and think for a sec. So if I'm rapid firing words at you, yeah. I know. But thank you for being here. Thank you for asking the deeper questions within yourself. I hope that you got something positive out of this. I hope that you can take this and, you know, have maybe deeper conversations with the people around you, because we really need to in this world. We really, really need to. I pray you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you later.